All right, what's up, guys? This is Zach Schieffer, and I want to share with you the three biggest mistakes that I see almost every single D2C e-commerce brand make in terms of growing their list. So this is going to be a three-step guide on how to maximize email subscriber growth. Let's dive into it. So why listen to me? For the past 3 years, I've been helping handfuls of D2C clients at a time get awesome results. Our average clients add 50K to 200K to their monthly revenue. Feel free to check out our case studies here. All right, issue number one is having a poorly optimized site footer form. I know it's not exactly what you would expect, and it seems like a very small thing. However, as we'll get to in a second, it's absolutely essential that you nail this down to maximize your subscriber growth. Most brands absolutely overlook the site footer form. It's a massive mistake. It literally takes maybe 5 to 10 minutes to set this up properly. And once you do it right, it's gonna pay dividends for years down the road. Even if you're able to increase conversion rate by just a tiny, fraction of a percentage there, 0.1%, that could mean hundreds or thousands of new people being added to your list per month. And if you multiply that out across months and years down the line, it becomes exponential, and you can see why it's so important to nail this down and make sure it's optimized for years down the road. So here's how to craft the ultimate footer form and maximize email list subscribers. So number one is you want to make sure your footer form takes up the entire width of the site. That way it's literally impossible to miss. You want it to literally stretch across your entire site. Tons of brands make their footer form just tiny, and hardly anyone is going to notice it. So in this example, this is what you should not do. This example, the footer form doesn't take up much of the page at all. As you can see, there's a couple other issues here too, but it's very bland. It's very basic. It looks like in Shopify, it's like the default option here. It just says newsletter, subscribe for exclusive deals, updates, and more. Number one is just the placement this is very small, and then we'll get to it in a second, but there's not much interesting about signing up for exclusive deals, updates. Like, everyone has this generic copy, and it seems like an afterthought. All right. On the other hand, this form is impossible to miss. It takes up the entire full width of the page, and this is exactly what you're going for. You want it to be very simple as well. Just ask for their email, maybe a first name, that's it. And make it super clear. You absolutely cannot miss it. So subscribe to our newsletter, learn about events, products, things like that, and more. The copy could be a little bit better, but overall the structure here is what we're talking about, and this is what I'd go for. It's pretty much impossible to miss this once you get to the footer. Step number two is mentioning your intro offer. So as we said before, you want the copy to be good and compelling. Customers are thinking, all right, are they going to spam me with junk? You just don't want generic copy. So spice it up in your footer form. Spice up that copy, and we'll have some examples later. But instead, you want to make sure to mention your intro discount. So if you have a discount, make sure to mention it. This brand here, they have an intro discount, but they don't mention it. They don't say subscribe to get 15% off. Instead, they just say subscribe to our newsletter, which is an issue. You definitely want to, if you have a percentage off discount, put it in your form at the footer. Even if you're not giving discounts, if you're just not that type of brand, that's fine. But you still want to entice people with some sort of lead magnet. So some sort of gift guide, PDF, checklist, something along those lines. Also, you can add in more perks. So this is how you can kind of spice up the copy. So talk about exclusive discounts, early access to promotions, new product drops, insider access, loyalty programs. Just change up the copy a little bit and spice it up a little bit. Share why people should subscribe. A couple examples here. In this example here, they do some things pretty well and some things not so much. So as we can see here, we want to make sure to talk about perks of the list. So they do that actually very well. As you can see, it talks about being the first one to know about new product releases. They talk about getting favorite recipes, giving back, and those are a couple of the perks. And you're signing up for the newsletter. Sign up to be the first to know about new flavors. So that's great. I think that's awesome. It's not just generic copy, which is excellent as well. The issue is they're not mentioning the 15% off discounts. I would absolutely make sure to mention it. If you're giving a discount, you might as well mention it on the footer form. And also, the structure is not great. It's pretty small here in the bottom right, which is very typical, but it's not very enticing. It doesn't stretch the full width of the page, and it's a small change that could make a big difference, especially when you look at it over months and years down the line. All right, in this example, pretty much perfect, spot on example. As you can see, they do, pretty much everything really well here. They mentioned the 10% intro discount. They could have a little bit more copy here, but honestly, just saying save 10% on your first order, that's great. They don't need to necessarily get into all the perks and features and benefits. I like how they feature the products here. It looks really nice. Nice design. It's impossible to miss. And overall, just a very simple, clean, and I'm sure it converts very, very well. This example, this is from our own website, and this is something that you could do if you don't have a specific discount. You want the copy to be very straightforward. As you can see, get our 242-point email and SMS marketing checklist. It's very clear what you're getting. There's literally an image of the actual checklist here. And so it's a very clear lead magnet in this case, and it's impossible to miss. So shout out to the ZHS Ecom website designer, and feel free to check out our website for the real life example. This one, another one is super clean, simple, straightforward. Sign up for 15% off your first order. Exactly how I would do it here. Right, issue number 2 is a poorly performing site pop-up. So not having an optimized site pop-up means less people on your list, which means less people in your welcome flow, which means less people in your other flows, like your abandonment flows, which means less customers, less people receiving email campaigns, and less email revenue. So even just optimizing your site pop-up alone can typically help add 25 to 75K in new monthly revenue, just depending on how much you're already doing. And this is an extremely high-level asset within your email marketing. So absolutely, you should follow these 5 steps to creating a highly converting site pop-up. Number 1 is adding a micro yes to your pop-up. So typically, pop-ups are very direct when they ask, hey, just give me your number, give me your phone, and your email. Instead, what you can do is ask a micro yes question at the start. So what this is literally adding a step to your current pop-up. All it is in this step is a yes, no question asking, are you interested in this offer? We split tested just this one change. The only difference is adding in this extra step, and you would think that it would decrease conversions because it adds more friction, but pretty much in every single case, it increases pop-ups conversion rates by 2 to 6%. It's really weird. I don't know how or why exactly this simple trick works so well, but it does. I don't make the rules here. As you can see here, we get great opt-in rates just with this micro yes, both on mobile and desktop. So a couple examples here. As you can see, all it's asking is a simple question. Do you want to join the crew? Yes, I'm in, or no, I'm not. Want 15% off your next purchase? Do you want 10% off your next purchase? Do you want this offer? And you can see it's an additional screen. It just says, hey, do you want 20% off? That's it. There's no way to put in your email or anything like that. It's just clicking a button. You want people to get in the habit of saying yes. So that's why it's called a micro commitment, a micro yes. Another example right there. So how does it work? It's a psychological micro commitment. You get them to say yes once to something easy. You can ask them a no-brainer question like, hey, do you want to save money? Then the ball's already rolling. They have momentum. They're already in the habit of saying yes. So they give you their phone and email. It's psychologically way easier. It's like, if you're talking to someone and they ask you for a small favor, you're a lot more likely to, in the future, do a bigger favor because you feel good when you say yes and you help someone. But when they don't just ask you to, help move their neighbors, when your neighbor asks you to move their couch, that's annoying. And you want to work up to that, essentially. It's the same tactic here. So you want to reduce the friction in your site pop-up as much as possible. Too much friction is going to significantly reduce your opt-in rates. More friction means more data, like in this example. However, it means lower conversions. So in this example, they asked for these different preferences, which is fine if these preferences are crucial for your email marketing strategy. However, if you're not doing anything with them, if it's just like good to know, it's adding unnecessary friction. So it's going to reduce your conversion rate. It's simply a trade-off that you need to be aware of. Typically, this is going to be way too many form fields on one screen. So typically we only like to ask for 1 or 2 form fields max per screen. We'll see. I'll show you the structure in a second, but that's it. No more than that. Typically just first name and email, and then another screen is just going to ask for SMS. So after extensive testing with dozens of variations, here's the best pop-up structure that we've found. So as you can see here, there's the micro yes. That's what it looks like there. Very sleek, very clean, very simple. Again, not a lot of extra jazz on this pop-up. And then you ask for first name and email. That's one step. Next step is an upsell step. So it's 20% off and text-only deals. Important point here is that you're actually giving them something new and different for SMS. It's not just 15%. Again, huge mistake. Don't do that. And then this last screen here, check your text for 20% off your next order. This is going to be assuming that they give you their phone number and they're going to get 20% off, which again is a better deal. Big mistake here that I see a lot of brands do is giving their welcome discount on the pop-up. Don't do it, or else people won't check their email or they won't check their texts and confirm. You want them to confirm, or else the email could go to spam or promotions, or their text might not be double opted in, might not go through. So make sure to add that in there. So as you can see, you're going to have the most amount of people opt into the micro yes. Less people are going to say yes to email, and out of those people, even less are going to say yes to SMS. And you can see it's kind of a funnel, which is why we used a funnel there. So as we said before, give users an extra incentive to sign up for SMS. Phone numbers are going to be significantly more valuable than emails. If you're checking, like pretty much everyone is checking all of their texts. So they pretty much have like a 99% open rate. So that's why they're so important. They're very intimate as well. So it's important to not spam people with SMS, but you want to have your SMS list grown. So when you do, whether you're doing SMS now or if you're doing it later, you don't want to be behind the 8 ball essentially. So slightly increase your discounts when users sign up for SMS if you can. That way there's a legitimate, logical reason to sign up with your phone number. And even if, let's say in this example, if you're doing 15% off and you don't want to give 20% off for SMS, I would encourage it. However, you can tell them, you can explain that there's SMS only deals. So make it more of an exclusive VIP club versus, I'll show you an example in a second, where there's nothing different, there's nothing new, there's no reason why people should give you their phone number. So don't do this here. There's no legitimate logical reason to sign up for SMS. There's nothing extra that you get for signing up with your phone number. So as you can see here, this is a jewelry company, diamond giveaway, give me your email address. That's step 1. And then step 2, they don't change anything. It's like, do I get entered into the diamond giveaway? Do I not? What's going on here? Like, why do I have to give you my phone number? It doesn't explain that you have to have both. So a lot of people are going to be a little turned off about that. And side note here, if you're mentioning some sort of giveaway, make sure to include that in your welcome flow, or else things are just not going to be congruent. That's more of a side note, but you want things overall to just make logical sense, especially if this pop-up is showing to, thousands, tens of thousands, or hundreds of thousands of people per month. All these small little things are going to add up. As a user, you're thinking, why should I give you my phone number? Like, I already gave you my email. Do I get any extra perks? No. Are they gonna blow up my phone? Like, maybe. Like, you don't want to give your people a lot more apprehensive to give their SMS number. Even if SMS isn't something you guys are focusing on right now, you might as well collect phone numbers for later. So there's literally no downside to at least asking for SMS in your pop-ups. Utilizing full screen pop-ups, these work phenomenally well. I highly recommend it, especially on mobile here. For desktop, I like to split test between full screen and just a regular pop-up, but almost in every single case, the mobiles perform the best by far with a full screen pop-up. So this is what it looks like. This is a great structure. It's kind of a fake template. Here's an example of what we did for a client. As you can see, it's got the exact same 4 steps. And then here's another brand that we've worked with. Just it's a full screen on desktop. That's what it would look like. So highly recommend it, looking into at least split testing full screen pop-ups. Now, number 5, consistently audit and split test your pop-up. So you want to systematically audit and split test everything so you increase results over time. People that get amazing pop-in conversion rates don't just do that in one shot. They're always running multiple pop-ups, and this is what we do exactly for our clients, running multiple pop-ups, multiple different split tests, and always collecting data and improving over time. You're going to go from, like, if it's at 3%, you might go from 3 to like 4% with a couple split tests. And then you might go through a couple split tests, and okay, one might get 2%, and then one might get 2.5%, and then one just stays even. And then, you get one winner out of those 4 split tests. That brings you up from, wherever you're at, 3% to 5% or somewhere similar. So you gradually do it over time. So you want to make sure to ask yourself these questions when you're auditing your pop-up. Number 1, how well is your pop-up converting? What's the conversion percentage rate? What does that look like for email versus SMS? Are we consistently A/B testing sign-up forms to get that best conversion rate? And namely, are we split testing the right thing? So are we looking at what make the big changes? Not just button colors and small little things like that, but different overall structures, designs, offers, targeting. That's going to be huge, especially for split tests in the pop-ups. Making the messaging more clear. As I said, you want to make it as clear as possible. You want to make sure the creative matches the brand. You also always want to separate mobile versus desktop pop-ups, especially the mobile. Almost always you want to make that full screen. Site visitors, you want to make sure that they actually need to sign up and give a real legitimate email when they sign up for the list in order to receive the discount. A lot of people might just put in a fake email address because they don't want to get onto the email list, and they can still get the discount if it's on the pop-up, so don't do that. Are the targeting settings optimal and without errors? And are we using things like exit intent? Always a great one to use. Are we using an appropriate time or scroll delay? And are we A/B testing these? Very, very important to nail these down. Here's a YouTube video that I put on end-to-end how to set up your pop-up in Klaviyo and Shopify, so make sure to check that out. All right, issue number 3 is a poorly performing welcome series flow. So not having a fully optimized welcome series means that you're going to get way more unsubscribes than you should. People are not going to stay on the list because they get the discount, or they just don't even want to make a purchase at all of which massively hurts your list growth and ultimately hurts your revenue. So here's exactly how to create a highly converting welcome series flow for your direct-to-consumer e-commerce brand. So intro here, welcome series, absolutely most important flow. Welcome series email number 1 is the most important flow within your account. It's absolutely essential to nail this flow. It's pretty much everyone's first impression. Most people are just going to use the discount from this flow, and it's very important to split test this and really optimize, especially that very first email. Overall, it's just a series of emails welcoming new subscribers after they sign up for the list, gives them an intro offer, typically some sort of discounts, introduces them to the brand, fosters a relationship, and eventually converts them into customers. Now, number of emails here, we're going to have 8 emails in one resend. A lot of people are going to think that's quite excessive. A lot of people might have just 3, 4, or 5 emails within their welcome series. However, because of the trigger and the profile filters, people are only going to get those emails like 6, 7, 8 if they don't make a purchase. So you might as well send them campaigns. These are going to be evergreen campaigns. We'll get to those in a second. But overall, the structure, there's going to be the brand intro and welcome discount and email number 1. Email number 1 is going to have a resend on it. So we're just going to look at people who haven't opened that first email, and we're going to send the email again a day later with a more enticing subject line and preview text. Email 2 is going to be about bestsellers. Email 3 is about the brand story. Email 4 is going to be the last chance to get the discount, and it's going to have more social proof. all 4 of these first emails are going to be pushing people to use the discount, and it's always going to mention it at the very top of the email. Email 5, this is after the discount has expired. So it's just talking about the benefits of shopping with the brand. At this point, you really want to think about what objections haven't I solved? Because clearly it's not a money thing. It's not a discount thing. We've already pushed them to use the discount. So what else could there be? Email 5, 6, 7, and 8 is going to solve and handle those objections. We'll get to what evergreen campaigns are specifically in a second. So email number 1, brand is intro and welcome discount. The first fold, you want to have the offer and discount code clearly visible. You want to have it extremely clear and have the CTA telling them to redeem the discount. Messaging is just simply, welcome to the brand, here's your discount, and here's some more information. Make sure you let them know the code is only going to be valuable for a short period of time, and make sure to let them know that the discount can, it needs to be used quickly. You want them to use the discount, so you want it to be able to be copy and pasted. So make sure to use the HTML plain text section. Use one of those within your ESP. The CTA is going to be to redeem the discount. You want to tell people why they should stay on the list. It could be exclusive discounts, first access to sales, insider content, etc. Very important for list growth is to highlight why people should, even after they use the discount, why they should still stay on the list. You want to talk about benefits of the brand, add in a few best-selling products, and what you can do is even tell subscribers to move the email to their primary inbox with a GIF. So here's an example of what that GIF might look like. Boom. There we are. Email number 1, resend. This is going to be the exact same as email number 1. Literally, you copy and paste that exact same design. You just give it a catchier subject line and preview text. So here's exactly how the conditional split is going to work. As you can see, you send email number 1, you wait a day, and then you have this conditional split here, has opened email 0 times overall time, where the email is equal to this one. If they have opened email 0 times, that means they haven't opened it, then you're going to want to send them this resend. And then after this, you're going to do a 1-day delay after this entire structure. Email 2 is going to talk about bestsellers. So you want to talk about the 3 to 5 top best-selling products, link to the bestsellers page on their site, remind them of the welcome discount, talk about main features and benefits of the product, how to select the best product for them, add social proof. You could optionally direct them to an on-site quiz and tell them that the discount ends within 4 days. So generally, you don't want to include everything all in this email. This is just a few ideas, but overall, you want to talk about just bestsellers. Then it's going to be a 2-day delay after this email. Then it's going to be email 3. So you want to talk about the brand story, provide context on the brand's founding, values, uniqueness, talk about the About Us section, just turn that into an email. And you want to build a relationship with the customer and remind them that the discount ends in 2 days. Then you give a 1-day delay after this email. Then you talk about how the discount is expiring in just 24 hours. It's super important to pretty much this is the last email with the discount, so you want to include as much social proof as possible. So you could have, even in your subject line and preview text, have a small snippet about a customer raving about the brand, add some UGC, add some FOMO, add some 5-star reviews, before and after photos, authority proof, whatever makes sense for your brand. And then it's just a last chance, absolute last chance to use the discount. And then after this, it's going to be a 4-day delay. So as you can see, it's a long email sequence, but there's long delays. All of these are 4-day delays after email 4. So it's not like you're just bombarding them. Email 5, benefits of shopping with us. So assuming that they don't go across the line with any sort of intro discount, you want to talk about what else might be missing that they need to make a purchase. So could be ingredient highlights, store highlights, what's inside the product, how is this product going to improve their life, what are the benefits, how is it formulated, us versus them, talk a little bit more about how your products are so high quality, and then you can include, as always, social proof, always great to throw in. 4-day delay. And then email 6 is going to be an evergreen campaign. So rest of these after are going to be 6, 7, and 8 are all evergreen campaigns. So All this is you just want to look at the past 365 days, find out what messaging and what campaigns, what newsletters have resonated the most, and you want to specifically choose newsletters that are not focused around a promotion, because you're going to get abnormally high sales from those campaigns that are sales focused, of course. So you want to choose ones that are not. So that's an evergreen campaign. It's content that's always relevant, doesn't directly tie to sales or promotions or seasonal events. You can send it any time of the year. And because of this timelessness, they can be sent anytime during the welcome series. So that's what an evergreen campaign is. You're going to do evergreen campaign. That's going to be email number 6. Email number 7 will be your second best performing. And then email 8 is going to be your third best evergreen campaign. And then optionally, you want to tell them to follow you on social media or something similar. Just tell them to, engage with the brand. It kind of fosters trust and community and things like that. Then feel free to check out on my YouTube channel. Watch this video for a full end-to-end tutorial that goes even more into depth on everything that we covered here. It's exactly how to set up your email welcome flow. All right, and that was it. If you're running a direct-to-consumer e-commerce brand doing 6 or 7 figures per month and you want to add 50 to 200K to your monthly revenue in the next 90 days, or we give you a refund, feel free to check out these two options. Check out zhs-ecom.com and book a call, or personally email me, zach@chsecom.com, and I will read and respond ASAP. Hope you got some great tips out of these, and I appreciate you listening. Thanks.